Hi, welcome to the most comprehensive Flutter Firebase tutorial on YouTube. And today we are building a TaskFlow, a production-ready team task management app that showcases every major Firebase features. By the end of this tutorial, you'll master multiple authentication methods including Google and phone auth, real-time Firestore operation with complex queries, push notifications that work on both Android and iOS, secure data access with Firebase security rules, professional error handling and offline support. Our TaskFlow app will include user authentication, real-time task updates, team collaboration, push notification for task assignments, and enterprise level security. Let's dive in. Okay, let's start by creating our Flutter project. Open your terminal. Okay, you can move into Studio Projects. Okay, now you can create your Flutter app. I'm going to create using the command flutter create. And what are the platforms? You can give the flag platforms. Then what are the platforms you want? I want Android, comma iOS, comma web. Then what is the package name? I mean the domain. It's actually -org. Then space com.ralphis.com. Then give the app name. Our app name is actually TaskFlow. Okay, then press enter. Okay, and this will create your Flutter app. Okay, now your Flutter project is created. Now you can move into that project folder. Then you can add the dependencies. Okay, and let me move into the project folder by cd actually task flow. Okay, then I can add the dependencies. We need some dependencies like we are working with Firebase, so you need Firebase core, Firebase auth, actually the auth package, then Cloud Firestore, then you need messaging, then Firebase storage, then Google sign in Flutter, then Flutter local notifications. There are a lot of packages we are depending upon, and let me add some of the packages, and you can use the command flutter pub add Firebase underscore core, then Firebase underscore auth, then you need cloud underscore Firestore. And make sure that you are spelling it correctly. Then you need Firebase storage, Firebase underscore storage. Then after that we need Firebase underscore messaging. Okay, then you need Google underscore sign underscore in package, then Flutter underscore local underscore notifications. Okay, and these are the basic things we need. So press enter. Perfect. Our dependencies are ready. Okay, let's open this project in Android Studio. This is the dependencies we have added, and I'll give you the dependencies or I'll give you the Git repo for your reference. And there are a lot of dependencies. Okay, and I'll organize these dependencies based on the purpose. Okay, then it will be more understandable to you what are the purpose of these dependencies. Okay, so next we are going to connect with our Firebase backend. So Firebase actually now comes with a modern way to set up Firebase and using Firebase CLI and Firebase FlutterFire CLI. This is much easier than the old manual method. So for that we need to install the Firebase tools. So you can install Firebase tools, or you can go to the reference document and you can go to any web browser. Then you can have something like this, Firebase to Flutter. Okay, then you will get a documentation. You can go to this documentation and everything is properly documented here. Okay, and if you don't have Firebase CLI, you can install Firebase CLI using this instruction. And since I'm using Mac, and you can select this option Mac OS, then you have to install Node.js. Then through the npm you can install Firebase tools. Okay, let me try this. And I already installed Firebase tools, and you can open your terminal. Then clear the previous things. Okay, then paste the command here. Okay, and I'm fetching the latest Firebase tools. Okay, if everything is okay, your prompt will be again comes here. Okay, and if that is ready, then go back to the previous instruction. Then you can try all these commands. Okay, first we have to try to log in into a Firebase account. That means in which account you want to connect, or you want to create a new project. That's what this means. Okay, and you can try this by entering the command. You can try Firebase login. Okay, then this will show you which account you already logged in. I have an email ID here. If you want to log in into another account, you can use the command Firebase login -re-auth. Okay, then this will give you a link like this. Okay, and it will open in a window, and you can use another account. Let me open another account. Okay, I'll open another account, and I'll show you how to log in. Actually, I don't remember the email IDs. Okay, let me try one email ID. Okay, you can use the email ID you want to log into Firebase. I have entered an email ID. Then it is asking for the two-step verification. Okay, and okay, let me select an option. Okay, and then you'll get a notification on your phone, and this is pure Google way of securing your email ID. Okay, then notification isn't received. I don't know what is the issue. Okay, let's wait. Let me try some other way. Okay, let me get an try another way. Okay, after successful verification, you'll get something like this: Firebase CLI login successful. Then you can take the terminal, and you can see you just change the email ID. Now you are logged in using this email ID. Okay, and this is how you sign in to Firebase from using the Firebase CLI or Firebase tools. Okay, so simple. You can use the command Firebase login. Then you will, if you already signed in, you got something like this. If you want to re-auth with some other email ID, use this command re-auth. Okay, then you'll get the prompt in your browser. Then give the proper permission. Then if everything is okay, you'll get a success message in your terminal. Okay, and that's it. And what's next? And you can go to the documentation, and after this you have to run this command .pub global activate flutterfire CLI. Okay, so you have to copy this command, then paste that on your terminal and press enter. And these commands are actually global, and that means you can enter this command in any prompt or any path. Okay, and that's it. Okay, it just updated something. Okay, then after this this command configure your apps to use Firebase, and use this Flutterfire CLI to configure your project apps to connect to Firebase. And this should be from your project directory, and Flutterfire configure command should be run from your project directory. That means which project you want to connect to Firebase. That's what this means. So you need to run that from your project directory. Actually, we are inside this project directory. It is inside your TaskFlow app. Okay, you can see. And let's clear this thing. Okay, and you can see the present working directory and pwd, and you are inside your TaskFlow app. Then you can copy that command no, not this command. It's actually Flutterfire configure, and you can enter this command Flutterfire space configure. Okay, and this is a command actually. So if you press enter, you will be prompted to do some Firebase actions, like you can create a project and it will show you all the Firebase project in this email ID, I mean in this Gmail account, and you can select which project you want to connect with your app, I mean with your front end. Then you'll get all the instructions there. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so since we are already logged in and we already run the command flutterfire configure, and okay, then let me press enter. Okay, then it is actually fetching the available Firebase project, and since we don't have any Firebase project in this email ID, this is a brand new email ID, there is no Firebase projects. So you can create one, enter a project ID for your new Firebase project. Okay, so it's actually you can enter your project ID, and that is actually the project name. Okay, so we are going to create it as TaskFlow app. Okay, press enter. So it is actually creating a new Firebase project. Okay, and Firebase attempting to run a command. What is the issue? And fail to create project. And okay, if you are encountering such issues, you can go to that email ID. Like, let me open that here. Okay, I can log into that email ID. Okay, which one is this? It's actually something else. You can move into that email ID, or you can select that email ID. Then you can go to Firebase website. Okay, then you can go to Firebase console. I just swap that email ID, and you can click here, go to console. Okay, now you're actually inside your Firebase console, and you can create a new Firebase project here. Okay, this is what we are trying. We just tried to do from the command line. So it is actually TaskFlow app. Okay, and you have to accept the terms and condition. Then click continue. And if you want Gemini, you can enable Gemini and press continue. I don't want any analytics right now. Create a project. Okay, this is actually creating a project. Okay, after this creation, you'll get a message here. You can go to project dashboard. Okay, I'll show you that. Okay, it will take a bit time, and once it's finished, you'll get the message here. Okay, and okay, you can click continue. Now you are inside your project dashboard, and this is your project dashboard actually. Okay, let me minimize this thing, and I'm going to minimize this, and we don't need this anymore. So from here, I'm going to run this command again, flutterfire configure. Now this will fetch that new project. Okay, it's not fetching actually. And let me close this terminal. No. Okay. It's actually clear. Okay. Clear. Then you can run flutterfire configure. What is the issue? One T is missing. Okay, sorry for the typo. Flutterfire. It's actually single word. Flutterfire configure. Okay, and let's check whether it is fetching. Okay, it's fetching, and this is the project we just created, TaskFlow. Press enter, and it will ask you which all platforms you need: Android, iOS, and web. Since we already selected 3 platforms, you have Android, iOS, and web here. So we need to have Firebase as the backend of these 3 platforms. So you can select that here, and if you want to deselect something, just press that space bar, and you can travel through using the up and down arrow in your keyboard. Okay, if you want to select it again, press again, and make sure that you have the correct selection, then press space bar again. Now you selected 3 platforms: Android, iOS, and Mac. Okay, so if you are okay, you can press enter. Okay, and it is actually fetching your projects. and from here, and from this folder it is fetching, and it is actually registering. Okay, I think not registered Firebase project, registered a Firebase project. Okay, and it's actually trying to register iOS, Android, and web apps actually. Let's wait what will be the result. Okay, and it's actually completed, and you'll get a summary with the project IDs and Firebase IDs. It's actually created a web, Android, and iOS apps here. Then you can go to your Safari, then just refresh this page, and let me expand this thing. Okay, now you can see 3 apps here. That means you successfully created or connected 3 apps. That means your project is connected right now. Okay, and this is how you actually create your or connect your Firebase with your project. Okay, I hope you understand. I have actually created a dedicated video for this, and you can refer that in my channel. Okay, the next step is actually we need to enable the services. Firebase is actually a platform, an app development platform, and that offers a lot of services and authentication, your cloud messaging, Firestore, storage. There are a lot of services, and okay, so you have to enable which all the services you actually need. So you can go to, or for that you can go to your Firebase console. Then you can select this build menu here, and you can enable all these things. You can go to authentication, and then go go to authentication. Then you can click on get started. Okay, then this will ask you which all authentication methods you want. Okay, I need email, password. I just click save. Then you can click the sign in method again by clicking the add provider. I need Google sign in, so you can enable, and this will ask you some more things here. Okay, I just have the project ID, and then you have to provide a support email for project. Then click save. Okay, and these are the things right now we need. Then we need to have another services like Firebase storage or Firestore, cloud messaging, storage, all these things, and we'll come to this later. Okay, then I need what is this? Firestore. Here you can enable your Firestore. Okay, it will take a bit of time. Okay, create a database. Then this will give you a prompt like this. Okay, and you can select the location you want, and normally it is in United States. If you want some other location, you can select this thing. And remember, once you created a database, you can't change the location, and that's why they have a warning here. After you set this location, you cannot change it later. Okay, and if you want a location rather than this thing, you can select it from this list of locations. Okay, these are actually, I think, data centers. Then click next. Then you have 2 modes. One is production mode and another one is test mode. We are going with the production mode, and test mode will automatically, I mean, the security rules within 30 days, it will get expired. So you can go with the production mode. And remember, we are actually in Spark plan, and it is actually a free plan. It's fully free, and there is no trial period or something like that. It's fully free, but there are some other plans with more capabilities like cloud messaging, cloud functions, and a lot of the services inside this are paid. But the basic things are in the free Spark plan. Okay, we are going with the Spark plan. Later we'll upgrade this into a Blaze plan. Okay, so let me create one. Okay, and in the next few moments, your database will be created. And remember, this is a NoSQL database. This is not your not a conventional RDBMS. It is actually a NoSQL database. That means we are not going to use SQL for creating, manipulating, or you're not using SQL for data manipulation and data definition. Okay, so I hope you understand. And instead of that, we are using a collection, then documents inside that. Not We are not saving data in tables, and relational database data is actually storing in tables. Okay, that is the main difference between these NoSQL and SQL database, like RDBMS. And example for RDBMS is MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle. All these are based on RDBMS and MongoDB. Then your Fire, the Cloud Firestore. All these are NoSQL DBs. Okay. Okay, and this is your cloud Firestore is ready. And now later we will do some we'll write some rules here. I'll tell you what are rules. Okay, and now it is actually there is a rule here, and it is actually read write if false, and we'll change that change these rules later. Okay, maybe in most of the videos in YouTube, and nobody's talking about Firebase rules. Okay, you may be confused with these rules. I'll explain what are the rules and how can you write rules. Okay, so we'll come into that later. Then we want other things like storage, and you can enable a storage bucket here. But right now the storage is not available in your Spark plan. It is actually available in Blaze plan. You need to update your project, upgrade from Spark to Blaze to get activate your storage. And some other services are like that. And you have other services like voice your messaging. Okay, you can go with this analytics. Okay, and all products, and go to all products. Cloud Firestore, we activated functions. If you want functions, I think functions is not available in your, it's actually available in your Blaze plan, and we are right now in Spark. It's not available. Then we need this one, cloud messaging. So let's click on that. I think it is also not available. Okay, and a cloud, this thing is actually available, and we'll enable this later. Okay, so, and this is all about the basic setup in your Firebase console. And now we are going to move into a project. You need to do some changes in your project also for the proper working of your or proper synchronization of your front end and back end. Okay, let's go to your front end, your app, and you can open lib folder. Then you can see there is a Firebase options file is created, and it is actually generated by your Firebase CLI. Then inside Android you can see I think inside app you have, what is that, Google services.json. This is a file they created. Then if you go to iOS folder inside the runner, and I think you got Google service info.plist. And before the CLI thing, we actually add all these things manually. Now that job is actually automated, and this thing is a convenient way. We don't have to worry about the errors, and we have to give the correct prompt. Then this thing will be all these things will be created by your CLI. Okay, and this is a major step in Firebase. Okay, when I start learning Flutter on Firebase, it's not like that. We have to do everything manually. We have to copy that Firebase JSON into this file, and we have to write all these configurations inside your corresponding folders. Okay, that may be error prone. Okay, now it is perfect, I think. Okay, so we just have all the files created. Now go to your main.dart file, and we have to make some changes in your main.dart file. Okay, and you may heard about you are comfortable with, if you're comfortable with Dart programming, you may heard about asynchronous programming. That means you are giving a request to the Firebase backend, your server, to connect your app with your backend. It's actually a future. That means that request will get satisfied in future, or you will get an error. Okay, if everything is okay, your connection will be successful. If not successful, you're actually going to get an error. So you're actually awaiting for something, and such an operation is actually called asynchronous operation. So you have to make your main function async first, async, then what we are actually waiting for, and you have to write this code. You'll get this from the documentation I have shown before, I mean the Flutter to Firebase documentation. And you have to write, it's actually widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialized. Okay, put a semicolon, it's actually semicolon, put a semicolon. After this, we are going to connect with Firebase. So you have to await, it's actually Firebase, and this is coming from your Firebase core package, Firebase dot initialize app. Okay, and this thing is actually coming from your Firebase core package. You can see an import here. It's automatically imported. And if you have an error, make sure that your pubspec.yaml, inside your pubspec.yaml, you have correctly added this dependency Firebase core. Okay. Then after this, you have to provide the proper configuration details, since we have three platforms with three different configuration files. So this Android engine will take the correct configuration file depending upon in which OS you are running this app. If you are running on iOS, this will go to Firebase options and take that configuration file, iOS configuration file. Otherwise, it will take Android configuration file. And if you are on web, it will take something, a configuration meant for your web. Okay, so you have to give options. Okay, and this thing is actually inside default Firebase options. That is a file, that is a class actually, default Firebase options. This is a class, and from this class you have to give what is the current platform. Okay, and or in which platform you're actually running this app. Okay, and this will take the proper configuration from this file. Okay, I think you got the point. Okay, this is the change we actually need. Then we have to run, let's try to run this app. If everything is okay, if all your configurations are correct, you'll get your counter app properly. Otherwise, you will get some error. Okay, let's start our iOS emulator first. Let me start my emulator. Okay, it's actually starting my iOS simulator. It started. Now let's make this side by side. Okay. Okay, and you can see the simulator is selected here. Let's click on that play button. Then I think we have to wait a bit. Okay, and you have some errors, and Firebase core requires a higher minimum, and obviously you will get some errors like this. Then the plugin Cloud Firestore requires a higher minimum iOS deployment version than your application is targeting. To build, increase your application's deployment target, and that should be inside at running pod install. Okay, you have to fix this error for running. Okay, and I think you'll get instructions here. Okay, and error output automatically assigning platform iOS with version 12 on target runner because no platform was specified. Please specify platform for this target on your pod file. Okay, so let's fix this first. Okay, let's try to fix this actually. And for fixing this, either you have to go to your Xcode. I already have that Xcode here. Okay, where is that Xcode? Okay, if you are not seeing the Xcode here, it's actually simulator. You can come here, then you can have, it's actually Xcode. Okay, you can open Xcode, or otherwise you can go to your iOS folder. Let me go to the iOS folder first. Okay, and inside this you have pods folder. Then you have a file called, where is that, inside this pods folder. Okay, I think, okay, let's not that folder, this file, you can open this file. Okay, then come here and here find or add this line, platform. Okay, let me uncomment this platform, and it's actually iOS 12, and I'm going to make this, okay, 13. If already exist, you can go with, uh, it's already there, then you can change that to 13. Okay, and after this, save this, then you have to run your pod commands, then go to your terminal. Then first we have to clean this flutter clean. Okay, and if there is actually a build folder here, and this flutter clean will clean this folder. Okay, any previous builds. Okay, let me clean this. Okay, it's cleared. Then after this, we have to have something like this, rm space hyphen rf iOS slash ports. Okay, and it's actually, we just removed that ports folder. Then rm is removed actually, then rm rf, then iOS slash dot, it's actually sim links. Okay, and we just removed one more file, then rm space iOS slash pod file dot lock, and this p is capital actually. Okay, and there is no such file, rm space iOS slash pod file dot lock. I think we don't have such file. Okay, no worries. Okay, then after this we can write the command flutter pub-get for getting all the dependencies. Okay, and it fetched all the dependencies. Now you have to move into your iOS folder. Then you have to write pod install space hyphen hyphen repo update. Okay, let's run this. It's updating your pod files. Okay, wait for a moment, and then you will get the prompt again if everything is okay. Then after that, you can get out of this folder and run your app. Okay, it's installing something, app oath, app checo, and there are some files. It's downloading the latest things. Okay, and let's wait for it to complete. We have installed the pod again by running the command pod install space hyphen hyphen repo update. Then after that, I just run the app. Now you can see your app is running properly. Okay, that means your app is running on your iOS simulator actually. It's working. And let's try this with the Android version. Okay, and let me stop this. And I can start an Android emulator here. Okay, you have some emulators already installed. So I just started that emulator. Then after this, you can click this run button. Okay, let's see what are the issues we are going to get while running that Android version of this project. Okay, and from here I can select your, okay, this is Pixel 9, and let me run this. Okay, I'm expecting an error, and I always love that error because if you see an error and if you learn how to fix that, your life will be very easy in future. Okay, so it's running actually. Okay, the Gradle task is actually running. And what is actually the Gradle task? And actually what is happening here, you are actually building your Android version, a APK file, and that build process is happening here. That build process is handled by this Gradle is actually a software that is inside your Android Studio. That is a build tool actually. It is actually a software. So that software is handling the building process. That's why it is called the Gradle task. Then after your Gradle task is complete, you are going to get an APK. That APK is actually going to install on your emulator. Okay, and if you are coming from native Android background, you'll be familiar with this Gradle and all these things. Okay, and if you are very new to this app development, and maybe you may feel some sort of difficulty by understanding what is this assemble debug and what is this term Gradle task. Okay, that's why I just explained what is Gradle. Okay, Gradle is a build tool in Android. Okay, that is a very simple. And Gradle task means that build process. A build process will it's not a simple thing. It's actually you have to take all your assets, your code and everything, then you have to convert that into you give that into a virtual machine. I think nowadays Android is using AOT compilers, ahead of time compilation. Then that compiler will give you is going to give you that APK actually, okay, or the machine code. Or there are a lot of process in between this thing. I just explained, I just scratched that process. I haven't gone deeply into that process, and you can refer that either in ChatGPT or any AI tool like that, or you can try build process in Android. Okay, then go to images, and this is actually the build process, and this is a build process. Okay, and this is the process actually. You're taking the source code, source files, and you have something called AIDL file. This is Android intermediary language or something like that. Intermediary definition language, AIDL. And you have the dependencies, and your all these things are given to the compiler, and compiler will give the DAX files and the compile resources. Then here we are going to, then there is a package manager, and this package manager, there are two modes. One is called debug mode and release mode. And if you're familiar with publishing these things, and right now you are inside in debug mode, and if you want to publish this into Play Store like repositories, you need to make this in release mode, and a key store is needed. Okay, and maybe some concepts are new to you, but after this APK manager will, or APK packager will give you an APK, either a debug APK or a release APK. This is what is actually here. This is what is actually happening here, and this Gradle task. Okay, and we got our and it's okay. And Flutter local notification requires core library debugging to be handled for the app. Okay, that is a new thing. We have to fix this. I just fixed that error, and now the Android version is running, and I'll show you what are the fixes. Okay, so first you have to make sure that your Gradle properties, inside your Gradle properties, you're using the proper JDK version, and I'm on a Mac machine, and I just have this version open JDK. And if you're running from Windows, you have to uncomment this thing and comment this out. Okay, and after that I just have some changes in my build.gradle file. It's actually a build.gradle.kts file. So I just changed the compiled SDK version to 35 and added an NDK version. Okay, then inside the default config block you can change the minimum SDK version, and that should be greater than 21. Okay, then target is actually 35, and after that you have to add this block compile options, and this block, then your Kotlin options, then the build types, and this is important, dependencies and core library. This thing, well, I don't know how to spell this. Sugaring. Okay, something desugaring. Okay, maybe I don't know. Is that correct? I have to do some research. What is this thing? Okay, if anybody know what is this, you can comment in the comment block. Okay, then this is the thing I have added, And to be frank, I just asked the AI what is the issue, and they just suggested me this. These are the issues, and I just fixed that. Okay. So these are the changes, and after these changes, you have to run a Flutter clean, then a Flutter pubget, and after that you can run your app. And now the app is properly running. Okay, and the counter is working. And what about your main.dot file? Inside your lib, you have the main.dot file. Okay, now this thing, and your Firebase is actually initialized, and we achieved this thing. I think it's properly running. Then let me check whether we get dot then. Okay. Let's write a print here. Connected. Okay. And let me reload the app or reboot the app. Okay. And let's check whether we get print connected here. Okay, it's connected. That means your Firebase is connected. Okay, I hope you understand what is happening here or what happened here. Okay, so we just successfully connected our Android iOS applications, and we just set up the Firebase backend, and we do the configuration. We completed the configuration in the Android side, iOS side, and fixed all other errors. Okay, now your app is ready to go. So let me check this on web. Okay, I just opened my Chrome. Whether you have Safari? Okay, Chrome. Let me run this. Okay, now if I'm getting that counter app here in web, that means your Firebase options and the configurations are correct. Okay, I'm getting the app here. Okay, and let's check whether we got that print. Okay, connected. Everything is good to go. Okay, so this is how you configure Firebase and connect your Firebase backend with your Flutter app. Okay.